Lily Hyman, high school senior in Edmondson Village. It was like the world was ending. It was like the world was burning. Local news stations, news broadcasts didn't mention it too much. They mentioned mostly Pennsylvania Avenue because Pennsylvania Avenue was populated by mostly blacks. My family and I had traveled over to D.C. to hear King's speech a couple of months before he died. Hope was built up that things were going to change. And blacks were going to have so many opportunities. And then, when he was killed, it was like all hope was dashed. So it was just a very bad time. I graduated in 1968 after the riots, and I was very militant. I wasn't part of the Black Panthers, but I agreed with their philosophy. I read their books, and I had this great big afro. I was working at C&P Telephone Company, which is Verizon now, and I was the only one who wore an afro. They didn't like it at all. First, they tried to get the other black operators to tell me to straighten my hair. Of course, I wasn't having that, you know. And then they got the black supervisor to take me off the switchboard, bring me into her office and say, "You need to straighten your hair. You can't wear your hair in here like that." I said, "Well, show me the rule that says I can't." And then she said, "Well, you know things are changing and you'll never progress wearing your hair like that." And I said, "Well, I'll just never progress." I was harassed about it, legally the way they did it, saying I didn't have enough calls or whatever, so I boosted up my calls. I knew I had enough, but they would say something else. I was a minute late or something. It was always something. But I kept my afro picked out, shaped and everything. And I had to wear my headset over this, you know. And I had this great big hoop earrings and my mini skirt. But it wasn't the dress, it was the hair. They saw that as a militant thing. It was scary to them. It hit home. We didn't know this man personally, but it was like a family member. It was like that. There were some, there were good white people. They felt it too, the same thing. You've got to remember, during this period was the Vietnam War. I lost so many friends in Vietnam who died right then. It was just like the war now. They were young kids, just straight out of high school, 19 or 20, fighting in a war, dying, killing. And a lot of my friends who didn't come back, who didn't die, came back addicted to drugs, you know. A lot of them. Oh man, and that's another thing too that happened. I don't know because of what happened with Martin Luther King and the riots, but that people, some people, I guess, they just dropped out. They just dropped out. I think people made more of a stand after the riots, and after Martin Luther King, they made more definite commitments to the NAACP, and more people joined the Black Panther Party or the Muslim Party, the Black Muslim. So people made more decisions. I think more definite decisions about things after